Guess you forgot your galana bin. Can't get loose, get your guts, got your tongue again. Rope burn on your hand, are you numb yet? I can go into dedication. Waiting there, I can deal with it quickly.
Hello? Hello? Wait lah, Monday. Kan dah cakap kat Monday. Hi, sorry guys. That was just me. I am actually trying to sort out my schedule for next week. Today is Friday and let's enjoy the EMP Variety Show. Welcome everyone. Happy Friday. Yes, it is another Friday of the EMP Variety Show. So let's catch up of what has happened this past week. All right. So the first news that I want to share, it's actually, not to say that it's close to my heart, but I have a lot of connections to it. If you have heard the famous footballer with the hand of God, Maradona, he died this week, and it's such a devastating news, especially in the sporting world. If you remember my one of my guests last week, Ishak, being a coach and a sport specialist leader, she's a huge football fan, so it did affect her as well. Knowing this Argentinian football legend, Diego Maradona, died at the age of 60, and famously, he was the person who managed to win the World Cup with his fist. And it was called the Hand of God. And it was in the year that I was born, in 1986. Yes, everybody knows my age now. I was born in 1986. And just to put the picture how long that was, is it was quite a long time ago, and yet it had a great impact throughout the sporting and football world. And with this, what I've read in the news, based on his last word before he died, was "I feel sick." Then he actually suffered a heart attack at home on Wednesday, just 2 weeks after he was released from hospital following a surgery. There was a bleed on his brain. So, as I mentioned, in 1986, Maradona won his team the World Cup, having knocked England, which is my favorite football team for the World Cup. I only watch the World Cup. I only watch football when it's the World Cup, but I have my list. But going on to the news, paying respect to Maradona, in 1986, he won. Well, he managed to win Argentina the World Cup with the infamous Hand of God goal. And later it was voted Goal of the Century. The football world reeled from shock from his death. Like I mentioned, like my sister and a lot of my family are football fans, and I'm seeing all the feeds and all the Facebook feeds, Twitter feeds as saying many good things. But I also appreciate, I saw this one post where people Also, he did have some people that he did, because you can't be liked by everyone. People did not favor him, and they were saying that honest opinion, that it really didn't affect their lives. But uh, bearing that in mind, not everybody can be liked with everyone. But for those who respected and liked Maradona, for those who liked and respected Maradona, yes, here he is, when he was winning the World Cup with Argentina and just before he died. And he was a really amazing talent in the football world. While his ethereal ball control fast track with his entry to professional football at the age of 16, he danced and dribbled his way into the hearts of football fans after landing Argentina 1986 FIFA World Cup. So, Maradona, thank you very much for all the magic and all the memories that you've given to the sporting world, the football world, and giving the year that I was born in a really good mark throughout the century, even having goal of the century title over there. So I hope that you rest in peace and give a round of applause to Maradona. Okay, now with local news, entertainment news. If you are familiar with Malaysian actors, actor singer Alif Satar, he contracted COVID-19 on Sunday. He was tested positive, and 2 days later, a number of singer actor close contact also received positive test results. And Alif's manager said that the singer actor parents, younger brother, and personal assistant on swab test came back negative. And Alif then expressed his relief that he announced on Instagram that his wife and kids also tested negative. And I mean, if I was a father, I would be so thankful that my own family did not contract. And let's just hope that it does not spread. But praying must come with effort. So, uh, being thankful to God, yet the other people are not contracted, but does not mean that we should stop. Actually, put the effort of social distance, not putting the effort of social distancing, and remembering to always wash your hands and avoid crowded places and wear masks properly. Yeah, wear masks properly. And one other thing I just want to add on, I know every week we talk about COVID-19 because this past week has been crazy with the numbers in Malaysia. Well, numbers for Malaysia anyway. One of the highest cases we had this past week was 2,188. That was a few days ago, and today is 1016. And we did have a decrease, but I think what people need to realize that the fact that people are not following the SOPs, and one of the biggest outbreak came from Klang, and it is quite scary that the cluster was from a huge company, and imagine a huge company with how many employees that they have, and they go they still need to go to the daily life. They need to buy essential needs. They'll be with their families and go on journey going there and going back home. And people just need to be aware and always wash your hand, keep the physical distance, and avoid crowded places. Especially like Alif Sata, he is in the entertainment industry. So I want to remind people in the entertainment industry. I'm giving you an example of this mask. I know that it is very tough to work on set to wear a mask. Wearing a mask is like this. There. Yeah? This is not wearing a mask. Don't worry, I'll be throwing this away and I'm not going to be wearing. This is not wearing a mask. And don't wear your mask like this. And until you are until you are scolded, then you quickly pull up. And I know some of the production people that I've talked with, they say, oh, don't worry, Faris. Our set is safe. We always keep our mask on our chin. And whenever people come, we quickly put him on. And I'm going, that's not how it works. And me being not only a first aid trainer and also in safety and emergency response, and I feel that people are taking this lightly. I It's a little bit of an inconvenience, but if you need to take your mask off and you already kept your physical distance, a minimum 1 meter, take it all off. Don't put it under your chin and then put it back on, because that does not protect you, because you're already infecting the inside of the mask here, inside of the mask, and putting it back on your nose and your face. And I know it's really bugging me that people think this is okay. And I went to restaurant to take away, and it's really annoying that how people don't take KKM, our Ministry of Health, seriously when it comes to the SOP. And I'm still seeing people do this for scanning their temperature. And I don't want to be the anti Karen or whatever people say. That I literally just tegur the guy. I'm going, guna dahi bukannya tapak tangan. Kenapa otak kat tapak tangan ke nak ambil temperature? So it was just annoying to the core for me. When and it's sad that there's only very few people who actually take this SOP very seriously. Even with EMP Variety Show, we are produced by LKS, and LKS can actually set up a proper studio to bring the guest in. But because I still feel as a host, and my crew still feels that we are not ready to have the crowd, the close contact, and the fact that it's really difficult to get everyone to follow the SOP. So if you don't want this PKPP or conditional MTO to continue until 2021, December 2021, please just follow the SOP. All right? Clear? 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 But going on that, because I'm already frustrated. There is another topic that I'm actually quite frustrated. During this pandemic and COVID-19, a lot of people has lost their jobs, and they have to find new jobs. And for me, I am a project, I would say a project manager, because I take work on project basis, and I do get called headhunted because of the skills that I have to work in social media. I was a travel agent and everything. So I had this one person who called me because I was referred to be able to have either a full time job or a part time job, or work from home, remote work. So the when I was briefed, it was for social media management, and yet when they called me, they weren't asking me my skills in social media management. They were asking if I can do website, and I had to explain to them website and social media is not the same thing. I know, but can you do both? And I'm going, but you briefed, you said you only want social media manager. It's not fair that you want to hire people, but you mislead them by just having one position, and yet you want them to work in two positions. Let me just tell you some statistics of sorry, employment in Malaysia. It increased 5.3% in May 2020, and from April 2020. So between 1 month, it's increased 5%. That is because the number of unemployment rose by 43,300 from 43. My mouth, my tongue. Okay, all right. Okay, now let me say those statistics again. The number of unemployment in Malaysia, it has rose from 47,300 to 826,100 individuals. And this is a very high increase in unemployment. Even though, SOCSO, which is a social security organization, received reports 89,000 of these cases of loss of employment as of October 22nd in year 2020. And with an average of nearly 10,000 cases every month, people are being fired or being let go from the company. Now, let me get back to the story on how I actually got this so-called interview with this company, let's say company X. Then when they in the middle of a phone call with them, I actually reread the message that I was given before the interview. It clearly states social media management and content created and copywriting for social media. But this person on the phone kept asking, can you do a website? Can you do website? Can you do website? Can you do website? And again, I said, this is not the same. This is not the same job scope. Website is website. Social media is social media. Then when I asked again, why are you asking website when you advertise for social media management? Oh, we need someone who can do both. And I feel that this is unfair. A lot of companies now are taking advantage of this unemployment, trying to combine real, positions of 2 to 3 people into one and paying them minimum wage. I don't think this is fair. Yes, not all companies are doing well, but you have to be fair to these people who are skilled. And they have yes, they can do multitasking, but you need to reward them by based on their job. And I have been also an employer and employee. Okay, what I feel in the employment industry now. Company A, let's say, they advertise for this position. They expect people to give their resume. And yet, when they call for interview, they still ask them, can you print out your resume in this digital age? So why do you still need to print out a resume in this digital age when you can refer everything on your laptop and when you are interviewing this person? And that is one of the things that I feel that a little bit about. In this digital age, you are still required to what do you call it? To print out resume. Okay, and then you got this digital platform like Indeed, JobStreet, Facebook Job, Wobs. What else? And more employment apps and website and platforms. You, as a person, a candidate, spend your time to upload photos, to upload your certificate, and write your resume one by one in this app. And then the company says to you, oh, by the way, can you email me your resume? I mean, what the hell? Don't you read my resume when I'm applying on JobStreet? What's the point of putting on that? And then when you want to send a link to LinkedIn, because you spend your time to build a platform in LinkedIn. Oh, sorry, I don't have LinkedIn. Can you just print a copy to print? And again, this is very backward, very, very backward thinking, I feel. I know some people are old fashioned, but this is the digital age. And especially in the pandemic where it's supposed to be low touch culture, when you're handing papers, you're already touching a paper and you're giving someone to touch the paper. When they're going to touch the paper, they're going to touch themselves because they don't wear masks properly anyway. And it's really annoying that they don't understand the they don't understand the digital factor, and yet they want these people to be e-commerce adherents. They want to have experience on social media for 5 years. They want experience in website for 5 years, but yet the employers can't read a resume from the email. And I've had experiences where with these people, with my friends, with my colleagues, that the fact that they call people in without reading the resume because they just want candidates to interview. And I think that's a bit stupid. How I would work, this is my suggestion to the entrepreneurs out there, to the business owners out there, when you're looking for someone to hire, I don't like to talk, what you call it. I'm trying not to swear because on my backstage chat kept saying that mind your language, mind your blood pressure, be careful of your language. So I'm trying not to swear. Sorry for, I think my nephew, my niece is also watching. Sorry, Uncle Paris, use bad language. Please do not use bad language. Being angry is also not an excuse to use bad language. Okay, going back to this, my suggestion to the employers out there, when you're looking for someone specific, don't just ask for a resume. Ask for the results of their work. It's easier for you to cut down what candidates you are looking for. For example, if you are a travel agent, yeah, you're a travel agent. You want someone to handle your travel agent's social media. Give a task to the candidate or a portfolio. Can you give samples? How would you copyright this tour package, or how would you handle an article people to plan their future travels in 2021 once they lifted off travel restriction. If you're a food company, restaurant company, ask them to write a food review. That actually is better when you have that ready before you call these people in the interview. You have something to discuss other than what the grandmother is doing of that candidate, because it doesn't affect you as an employer what the grandmother did. What affects you as an employer is the result that this person, or the potential result that this person can give you. And this is my advice for you guys out there who are entrepreneurs, who are hiring people, and who also at the same time hiring freelance people based on your project. Yeah, look based on the results, based on their work, and of course, attitude is very, very important. At the same time, you want to have a little, kalau bahasa Melayu, serasi, compatibility with these people that you want to work with. But don't start interviewing something that is too personal for them, that does not really affect you, unless it's like drugs and criminal activity. Yes, of course, it may affect you, but at the same time, it's what is more important for a business. In the end result of money is more important, right? So don't try to make it too difficult for this candidate. Just make sure that you want to have the correct candidate. Make sure it's result orientated, and as opposed to just borak kosong. I don't like people calling me, datang je, mari kita borak. What you can do. No, I want to go there. I want to talk business. What do you need from me? And what do you need from me? And what can I provide for you? And what is the end result? And how we can work together in the next 5 years. That's all that I can say about this employment industry. So I hope everyone out there, the employers, be fair to these high skilled people. Not even, excuse me, not just even to the high skilled people. When I say high skill, it could be anything. When it comes to physical, it could be software, it could be mental skills, soft skills. Be fair to them, and candidates out there, just be direct. Don't be too greedy, but be direct. For example, you know that you are worth 5,000 a month, and you clearly know when you're applying for this company, they can't pay you 5,000 a month. So let's work together. So, for example, how I would ask an employer, okay, what is your budget for this position? If your position, you can only afford me to pay 2,000 ringgit. Okay, I can work for you for 2,000 ringgit, but you have no rights. Well, not you have no rights, but you have to be flexible enough to allow me to have multiple sources of income, because 2,000 ringgit is not enough. As long as it's not a conflict of interest, you can't stop a person to do things that can help them in the future to have multiple source of income. Yeah. And at this time, I feel, because sometimes ago they want to pay people 1,500, but you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that, you're not allowed to do this, and work 12 to 14 hours a day at the same price. And I think it's unfair. So I hope that everyone, I hope that everyone can actually be fair to each other. And what I always say every week, just be kind to each other and always be honest, so people can work together, whether you're compatible or not. Okay, that's enough for me ranting, being angry. That was two topics, being angry and ranting. And let me get my zone in. Let's hear for something. Let's hear from some of our sponsors for this week. So let's see. Let me find a calming, soothing video. Okay. and that was Libiki Resort. And I stayed there, so it just reminds me. I'm picturing bamboos. I'm picturing the river. I'm picturing the greenery, and I wish I was back in Sarawak. I, I I'm sorry. No, because I'm just seeing the backstage. People are just saying, "Why are you so angry?" And then one of my crew said, "Because he's wearing Japanese clothing and he become a yakuza." And if you don't know what a yakuza is, it's a Japanese gangster. But anyway, Zen, Zen. All right, let's meet some of our guests this week. Our first guest that I want to introduce is an amazing Malaysian artist. I know we've met an artist last week, but this artist, I can tell you, her work is amazing. Yeah, her name is Ummi Hidayah. Ummi Hidayah. She is a TikTok influencer as well, and she has an Instagram account, and she does amazing hand sketch work. Let's see uh, her promotion for this week before you get to meet her. Umi, where's your promotion?
If you're alone like me, we could go on a trip. Girl, I wanna see the sun, dive into the deep ocean, dance with you all night long, move as you swing your hips. Let's take a break from the stress and the hate. Feel the loving, feel the rhythm, singing oh na na, oh na na. I wanna go.
And let's welcome Umi. Oh, wow, she's like, ah! Wow, thank you, Umi. That's making my energy positive. And I think it's amazing that you are here. And I feel your work is so beautiful, Umi. And it's making me feel relaxed. Oh,
Oh.
Umi, relax with me. Ooh. Wait, angkat tangan. Umi. Ooh. Oh, okay. Umi,
Yeah.
I know we have other guests, but I just want you to describe, before we meet our other guests, I want you to describe your personality based on your work. Cuba
Describe.
jelaskan, bagi deskripsi yang sangat indah tentang kerja hasil tangan Umi.
Actually, artwork tu I buat sebab bila I sedih, I buat artwork tu.
Bila last day?
Bila I stress, I sedih,
Oh, you
happy.
so sorry. I dalam marah tiba-tiba pekak. Okay, kita ulang. So, Umi kata, bila dia stress, when she is stressed, this artist with beautiful hands, she does her artwork and her stress. Macam mana? Stress jadi macam mana? Kalau buat tangan tu lukisan? Lagging ke, Umi? Jadi, okay. Umi buat lukisan ni masa stress. Jadi, kenapa Umi
Yes.
stress?
Sebab kadang-kadang stress dengan assignment, so I buat. So masa kalau I terlalu stress, I habiskan masa dengan buat art. So I buat video, lepas tu I post dekat TikTok.
Post kat TikTok. Jadi dengan stres ni, berapa hasil seni yang keluar daripada tangan yang stres ni?
Jika kalau terlampau stress, dia macam I most fokus pada realistic punya art. So I buat masjid ke, I buat nampak real lah benda tu.
Nampak real. Okay.
So kalau macam I malas-malas, I buat doodle je macam tu.
Tapi doodle pun cantik. Wow. Cantik macam kita kan, Umi?
Oh.
So, sebab Umi, okay,
Ya.
Umi, apa inspirasi Umi nak lukis yang realistic art ni? Cuba jelaskan inspirasi.
Actually, bukan inspirasi sebab saya belajar art, saya art student. So, awal SEM tu saya belajar buat realistic art. So, daripada tu saya mula minat dengan realistic art ni. So, daripada tu macam keep it going lah. Buat
Keep it
art
going,
realistic.
keep it going.
Going.
Tapi Umi, kalau lukis saya, tapi saya tak realistik. Rambut warna pink, rambut warna hijau, biru. Siapa yang realistik kalau rambut pink dengan hijau?
You.
Mungkin I boleh jadi anime kot.
Boleh je, tak mustahil.
Boleh je. Okay, cuba Umi bayangkan anime apa yang saya sesuai kalau Umi lukis saya.
Saya sebenarnya tak adalah minat sangat anime. So saya suka lukis je.
Jadi saya masuk genre apa?
Saya betul sebab saya takut tengok anime.
Tengok anime. Alamak.
Alamak.
Tapi tak apa. Nanti saya berdiri belakang Putrajaya punya nampak Putrajaya punya ni nampak kan? Putrajaya punya jambatan. Putrajaya punya jambatan. Okey, ini realistik. Jadi ini realistik. Lepas tu buat muka anime lah belakang dia kan?
Boleh je.
Okey, audience dengar. Ya, nanti Umi akan lukis Putrajaya Bridge dengan muka saya. Jadi dia buat realistik dan anime bertampal. Nanti
Alamak.
orang TikTok nak tengok tu macam mana. Boleh?
InsyaAllah.
InsyaAllah kita hanya mampu dicuba. Sebab okay, Umi saya tak nak tunjuk video dulu you punya artwork sebab saya nak invite satu lagi guest supaya dia pun boleh ada peluang nak tengok seni yang cantik Umi. So Umi, saya nak introduce, ini nama dia Munira Ishak. Setiap minggu, every week, she is here for segment for Change It Up. Dia bagi advice for people who need advice how to change their life for the better. So kita dua-dua tengok dia punya promo video. Boleh Umi?
Boleh.
And I have somehow become like a tour guide. Every time somebody comes, I say, well, up Burj Khalifa, go to Burj Al Arab, the 7-star hotel, go to the beach, go to dune bashing, go to Old Souk, go on the boat again.
So, welcome our Ambassador of Change, Munira Ishak. Tepuk tangan.
Hi everyone. Hi Ummi.
Welcome, Munira.
Welcome to the show. Nice to meet you. Hi Faris. So we're a little bit cooler now.
Yes,
calm,
a little relaxed.
bit. With a bit of a face yoga. Even I had to do the face yoga before coming on because we needed to get a bit of a positivity. And I like Ummi's energy,
I love Ummi. She just made me fly. Now I'm wearing like a kimono. Cuma tak cukup apa, boleh terbang kan. Because of Ummi. Tengok Ummi pun dah relax. Okay, Ummi. Okay, Munira ada kat sini. Ada lagi satu our guest, tapi I tak boleh tunjuk muka dia. Because our episode is quite special this week tau, Ummi dan Munira. Bukan special lah. Because It is 11 episodes now for EMP Variety Show. Jadi tepuk tangan, 11 episodes. Maksudnya dah 2 bulan kita dah EMP Variety Show. Tetapi because we need a break. Me and my crew need a break. Dan juga this place where I'm staying now is the last live I will have on this place, and I'll be moving into new environment. Notice the new hair for new environment untuk supaya kita punya 2021 lagi maju, lagi positif, ya. So yeah, let's applause for positivity in 2021. So I want to welcome, this is one of our best crew on EMP Variety Show. Welcome Wong Ailing. Tapi tengok, look at all her hard work. Before that, all her hard work, what she's done so far with EMP Variety Show. Always play safe.
Yes.
So, okay, we have
I forgot to scream.
idiot. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna. Okay. Thank you, Wong Ailing, for putting my other account down.
My
So she's
face.
our backup.
I'm
Yes.
like, those cringe moments, but she
Yes.
managed to put everything in place.
Yes. So now we welcome Wong Ailing. Yeah, give her a round of applause. Hello, Wong Ailing.
Hello, boys and girls.
Konnichiwa. I don't know how to say good evening in Japanese.
It's konbanwa.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
No, that's hello.
Konbanwa.
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 Konbawa. Sorry for the Japanese people out there. I don't mean to badly speak Japanese. It's not to any offense, and it's just me. I'm bad at pronouncing any other. Okay, she has written on our back chat konbanwang.
Oh my goodness, Fares.
Konbanwa. Konbawa. Konbawa.
Konbanwa, Munira des. Because I will always remember this from a Japanese show about this teacher. Konbanwa, sotamaki des.
It's funny, Wong Ailing speaks Japanese, but her name is Wong Ailing, which is Chinese. Konnichiwa. Okay, I'm forgetting to use my sound card. Okay, now everyone here, the 4 panels are here. Ummi, ada 4 panel kat sini. Tadi Ummi balik-balik cerita nak lukis masa stres, lukis masjid kan. Saya nak tunjuk kepada Wong Ailing dan Munira Ishak. Dia punya time lapse, berapa tak? Cantik tak? Realistik tak? Masjid yang masa Ummi stres lukis tu, ya. Ready Ummi?
Ready.
Ready ya? Okay. Hari dulu. Okay.
I wanna get away, but I could use some company. If you're alone like me, we could go on a trip. Girl, I wanna see the sun, dive into the deep ocean, dance with you all night long, move as you swing your hips. Let's take a break from the stress and the hate. Feel the loving, feel the rhythm, singing oh na na, oh na na.
Wow.
That
Okay.
is nice.
Siapa nak teka itu masjid apa? Siapa nak teka? Jangan bagi tahu Umi. Jangan bagi tahu dulu Masjid apa tu? Does anyone recognize the masjid?
Show it again. Show it again.
Okay, we show it again. Now everyone focus. This is second time watching your time lapse. Masjid apa ni?
I wanna get away, but I could use some company. If you're alone like me, we could go on a trip. Girl, I wanna see the sun, dive into the deep ocean, dance with you all night long, move as you swing your hips. Let's take a break from the stress and the hate, the loving, feel the rhythm, singing oh na na, oh na na.
Is it the
Okay.
masjid in Terengganu?
Nope.
I'm not
Jangan
that
jawab
bright.
dulu Mi, jangan jawab dulu Mi.
Kobe Mosque.
Wang Ailing?
I don't recognize that mosque.
I know, I feel like it's the Crystal Mosque. Tapi macam
Yeah,
dia punya
that's why
bentuk
I
lain
was thinking
sikit.
the one in Terengganu is the Crystal
Tapi
Mosque,
when I
right?
look back at the dome, dia bukan Crystal Mosque. Mesti masjid dari yang banyak-banyak masjid punya, the mini masjid punya taman tu.
Oh, that's cheating because that's the masjid from all over the world. Come
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
You're like cheating. You know, it's like you're going to hit one of them because it's already all the rest in the world.
Okay, masjid. Okay, Ummi bagi clue. Jangan sebut negeri dulu. Sebab negeri dah tahu. Bagi clue warna masjid tu.
Warna putih. Lepas tu dia punya kubah tu warna kuning.
Oh.
Macam semua masjid je macam tu. I mean the masjid at my hometown is like that.
No, it's like everyone's hometown has that kind of mosque. Like even in
Okay,
KK.
maybe that. Betul. But I feel like that masjid is from Perak. Am I getting close? Ummi.
Yes.
Perak?
Ooh.
Okay.
Which is
I'm
funny
an
because I
ex-travel
used to
agent.
study in Perak.
I'm
Masjid
an
Utama.
ex-travel agent, and because I used to do Muslim tours, so it was in Perak. It's not the Chinese mosque. The one in Ipoh, kan? No, it's not. Okay. Kalau dari, I
Awkward
give up.
silence.
Gini. Sebab semua tengah mikir. Kalau dekat Perak, Ipoh betul ke Ummi?
I tak tahulah. I lupa sebenarnya nama masjid tu apa.
Banyak-banyak suspend dia sendiri lupa nama masjid.
Let's Google it.
Siapa dekat audience kat sana, siapa boleh tolong kami? Masjid dekat Perak, apa nama masjid tu? Masjid dekat Perak, nama masjid tu nanti boleh letak dalam komen di bawah ya. Okay, so, sorry. Okay. Ummi, I want everyone to see your work in TikTok, why you are so also popular in TikTok. Okay, kita lihat video TikTok anda.
So if you are a small artist, use this sound and show off your art. And anyone who's scrolling through their For You page and you find this beautiful art and you love it, if you want to support this artist, one of the best things you can do is
Wow.
So beautiful.
Cantiknya Ummi. And Ummi, for person yang tak minat anime tapi lukis dia memang cantik gila.
Yeah, I think my son would absolutely love it because he's trying to draw anime art. He's 9 years old and we are trying together to draw anime art.
Wow. So apa boleh bagi, okay, sebab mungkin her son is watching. What can you give advice untuk umur 9 tahun? Macam mana nak practice untuk melukis?
Actually, I belajar melukis daripada YouTube, Instagram sebab banyak je orang kongsi teknik melukis dekat media sosial. So, saya pun tak belajar dekat sekolah pun pasal art ni. So, saya belajar sendiri. So,
Wow.
daripada situ saya
Oh,
Saya
Maksudnya
belajar
belajar
Umi,
sendiri.
I thought Umi belajar art dekat university, no?
Ya, memang pun, tapi akhir-akhir ni lah sebab dah memang minat art kan, so saya ambil inisiatif. So macam ambil lah art, rugilah kalau minat art tapi tak belajar art, macam tu lah.
Jadi minat ni bermula dahulu.
Daripada kecil lah minat art ni.
Jadi sekarang ni belajar dari social media, so it's a good advice for people that learning by observing is also learning lah kan, betul kan Umi? And Umi bermula berminat, so kan, jadi betul lah dia punya end. Umi took art course because she already is interested in it. Why waste?
Yes.
Okay, so sorry Umi, we have one of the commenter just about your masjid dia cakap, sorry, itu Umi tu, itu kenal tak? Wow, your fan, Iqmal Ifwan, Umi tu. Classmate tu salah tekan. Dia cakap, kalah saya. Wow, ada orang jealous Umi punya lukisan. Dan lepas tu dia cakap, Umi lukis memang OP. Wow, overpower. Apa?
What does OP mean?
Overpowered. OP means overpowered.
Overpower.
Lepas tu tiba-tiba dia cakap, saya fan Umi, saya classmate Umi. Wah, tiba-tiba banyak cakap pasal Umi, tiba-tiba banyak orang komen pasal Umi ya. So Umi, wow. Ada orang yang tersayang ke dalam banyak-banyak audience ni?
Tak ada.
Semua sayang.
Semua kesayangan saya.
So, tapi someone has commented masjid tu di daerah
apa? Now reminds me of my university days of driving past. I don't remember this mosque.
But I remember Tapa. I think I remember this mosque. But I don't know what exactly the mosque is lah. Tapi memang Umi, wah, ada banyak Umi. I know Umi from school and she's very talented. I like her drawing. You like her drawing A13 Nurul Amira Muhammad Yusof. Not kenapa like saja? I love her drawing. Cuba tukar you punya komen sikit, boleh tak? So, Umi.
Ya.
Barulah betul ni. Umi, I love you.
I love you too.
Dia cakap, Siti Nur Nadia binti Ishak. No relation to me Saya Farnes Ishak. No relation to me.
Like now people are suspecting everybody Ishak is related to you. It's just Ishak is a very common name.
Yeah. And finally Umi, your fan Nur Amira Muhammad Yusof, dia tukar komen dia. Dia cakap, okay, I also love her and her talent. Okay, bolehlah beri. Tepukan. Okay, Umi, tahu tak dalam panel ni sebenarnya ada 2 artis lagi. Satu.
2 artis?
Yes. Artis pertama bukan artis menyanyi artis lukisan, the real artis.
Wow.
The real artis boleh tak? Dia satu ialah cuba teka siapa lukis ini. Ada nama dia lagi kat sana.
Kan ada nama. Apa sebagai seorang seni Umi? Apakah komen anda kepada lukisan itu? Itu kita panggil fantasy art. Seni yang fantasi. Saya tak tahu apa fantasi dalam bahasa Melayu. Fantasi.
Fantasi. Jadi Ummi? Mana Ummi? Ummi?
Ya.
Ada sana, bukan Frozen. Bagi opinion Ummi pasal seni Ummi. Seni Ummi pula. Seni Munira. sorry.
I think I nampak tadi a heartbroken.
Nak tengok balik? Okay, saya letak. Saya letak atas sini. Okay, cuba biar orang dengar you punya suara. Oh, excuse me. I am so sorry. Dengar suara you, Ummi. I am so sorry.
I think it's like macam hati orang yang sedang sedih tapi masih ada harapan untuk kembali happy.
Oh, so
Wow.
sweet.
Wow, you have the eyes of a psychologist, Ummi. Bukan seorang seni saja, I a psychologist. Because I have a diploma in psychology and I've been learning a lot of online psychology symbolism. I think you are right because even though the heart is broken, but it's not completely broken. It macam ada scar on the heart. But with a wing and a halo on a cloud, that means dia masih ada harapan to go into positivity on this positivity of this heart or this hope. This heart also can not only represent love but hope. Betul tak, Ummi?
Betul?
Okay, lepas ni Ummi kita sambung study psychology. Boleh tak?
Boleh.
Wong Ailing. Okay, what did you think of that when you saw the art? Atau you ada different opinion?
Sorry, come again. Sorry, I am
okay.
used to being muted and listen. Sometimes I speak.
So
I may
seni,
look like I'm listening. Okay.
Seni Munira tadi, rasa ada tak interpretation lain selain apa yang Ummi dah katakan?
Interpretation lain. I show sendiri. I think it's about moving on.
Wow.
Moving on.
Sorry. Not loud, this one. Technical mistake there.
Come again?
Sorry, technical mistake on my part. So you think it's moving on?
Yep. After being
Moving
broken,
on.
picking your pieces up again and fly and move on.
Wow, I
So-
love it. I love how one piece of art can have many, many different meanings. So maybe Ummi can actually share with us what you feel when you do your art.
Ya, kan Ummi?
Why?
Okay, apa perasaan anda?
Actually, I just draw it because that was my hobby. So I love to draw anything I want. So actually I lukis semua tu sebab I nak asas skill I. Sebab I memang tak pandai langsung lukis asas-asas je. Asal saya masuk universiti ambil art pun saya kosong. So daripada tu slowly saya asas skill saya. Buat hari-hari. So that's
No, well, dedication there. Ummi ingat tak? Tadi saya cakap ada 2 artis lagi kat sini.
Siapa tu?
Siapa tu? Okay, kita lihat dia punya artwork.
Ooh.
Wow.
Cantik tak?
Cantik, unik.
Unique. Okay, so ask opinion of the artist. What is your interpretation of this artwork? Okay, saya letak sini. Boleh jelas guna suara saja.
Oh, you asking me?
No, asking Ummi lah because she's the real artist.
Oh, okay.
Terus ada
Actually, I a little bit confused about this artwork.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, what do you think you can identify since you say it's confused?
Maybe dia nak tunjuk yang apa? I don't know lah. Maybe nak tunjuk culture kot.
Culture. Okay.
Ah,
Very good. Very good. So, when you see that, you feel culture. Tapi, you rasa pelik kan? Sebab dia is not 100% real culture. So, culture campur dengan apa Umi rasa tu?
yang music.
Music and culture. Okay. That's very good. Very good. Sorry. Okay, Munira, what do you think about that artwork? What does it represent?
It represents traditional versus new culture.
Ooh.
And the
Ooh.
fusion of all the colors is a little bit of a contrast, from the white background to the very bright colors in front, and the drums that are being used with the weird limbs going around. And
Yes, because my brain is weird.
and for viewers who who are not Malaysians, this is our traditional wayang kulit art.
Yes. And
it used to be. You remember this ad? Apa yang is it brands or whatever it is, or ubat batuk cap ibu dan anak or something like that? I'll never forget that. Oh yeah, ubat batuk cap ibu dan anak with all the wayang kulit.
Wow. We kalau tengok juga Umi, your audiences pun, your classmate apa semua pun nak bagi dorang punya komen, dorang punya artistic view of each artwork. Memang menarik lah kita punya audience hari ni kan. So kita bagi round of applause to kita punya audience sebab dorang pun art critic. Tapi kami tak bayar audience, kami tak bayar art critic anda. Kita bagi opinion diri sendiri sahaja ya. So actually, the artwork of You Are Right, Wayang Kulit and Music. This artwork is requested by me to Wong Ailing to interpret. I give description only, but and I didn't even give her reference. I just gave a description, and she has created something out of nothing. So she searched for her own reference to create something new. So what Munira has picked up on, I'm glad that she picked up. Sebab it's a fusion of tradition and modern, and how we can create a traditional artwork into the modern age now. And this is actually a mini teaser of my work next week with one of my favorite friend director, Bakri Al Haris. We are working on making a film called Wayang Kulit. And it's about, just a little bit, it's about how tradition and how modernization can combine, and the contrast between the two, and what is the end goal and how it becomes that image. Yeah? Ada orang nak tepuk tangan. Jadi macam tak menarik je movie ni. Orang Ailing baik kita give up lah. So ada orang tak menarik.
Tak apa, kita cari audience lain.
Okay lah, kita cari idea yang lain today. Okay. So, Ummi, Munira, Wong Ailing, I kind of need to move on to the next segment, which is our weekly segment, Change It Up. Jadi audience yang kawan-kawan Ummi, mungkin you can feel this problem, you can relate to this problem, and Munira will be giving the advice of these problems that we have this week. So for our next segment, nama dia Change It Up. Kejap, mana video dia?
Kenapa bunyinya tu?
Sebab tak jumpa dia punya video. Sini. Okay, and it's time for Change It Up. Okay, we are gonna tackle 2 emails this week. So are you ready, Munira? I'm gonna read out the email to you, and so Ummi also can know the email. The problem is okay. This first problem. Hi. This is quite a heavy topic for me, but I need opinions from people who really don't know me personally, so I won't be judged. I went to work last 2 weeks, and when my boss came in, he suddenly announced that he is closing the company, and that was my last day of holding the permanent job. I do have other sources of income, but it will be insufficient for me to sustain in Klang Valley. My real problem that is my house rent contract is ending in December. The house owner have sold the house, and I don't have enough money to pay deposit for the next house or even a room rental. I just had fixed my car on October and maxed out my credit card, CC. I'm about to be homeless, but I kind of refuse to go back to my hometown because it is a very small town and very little opportunity. I tried finding a job there while I was on paid leave, but it is so hard. I do applied for retail jobs, F&B jobs, call center jobs, cleaner jobs in Klang Valley area, and I attended some of the interviews. But it is either no reply or even I got a reply. They will ask me something like, why do you want to work here? You have a degree. Find other jobs that repeat your academic qualifications. I need your opinion, Munira. Regards, Haris. Sekejap, Munira. Okay, I need sekejap. Okay. Munira. Sorry.
Yes, you know what I heard, the regards, I thought it's like regards Faris. Is this about you, Faris? But yes, I heard it correctly at the second time, or I saw it. So thank you for writing to us, Haris. And I always have put this disclaimer, bukan nama sebenar.
Yes.
So what I understood from this email was that, you know, I think this is something that everyone or a lot of people are facing throughout the year. And I see, like, I have a LinkedIn profile, and I see in LinkedIn where people are constantly looking for a job, or they just got a job after several months of not having a job. Even, like, for example, pilots who were posted in an overseas countries, in the Middle East, for example, coming back home to Malaysia and selling burgers. So what I would say, my opinion about the situation of being in a situation where you feel like it's hopeless and it's out of control, is always the same. What I would advise in any other situation of feeling hopelessness, which is noting that yes, it is hard what we are going through now, because the first step of any problem is to acknowledge that yes, it is hard. And once we sit down and just take it in that it is hard, we can think of the next step. You know, we will have periodic breaks in between. Second part of that is we have to acknowledge that sometimes we have to take a hard decision, such as going back to your hometown if it comes down to it. Only momentarily, because nowadays, because of the digital age, there is a lot of remote work. But if going back to the hometown and sharing a home with someone, or going back to the parents' house to survive, if that's what it takes, then it should be done. For example, in my case, I was transferred from Dubai to Malaysia earlier this year. And as much as I wanted to stay, I couldn't. So I sat down. Yes, it was hard. I closed up my home and everything, and then I transferred. And I made the situation or the experience meaningful for myself. And it was hard for me to arrive in the first place. The first few weeks was very hard for me to adjust because it wasn't where I wanted to be. But because I have the temperament to make everything the best experience I could get, I tried to make it better. Yes, okay, we acknowledge that COVID happened and everything, but I focused on small things such as my favorite places to eat, my hanging out with people I haven't met for a long time. For example, you have to go back to your hometown, just meet up with some of the friends that you haven't seen for a long time, or having joining new groups of people. You know, throughout the year, I was on unpaid leave. There was COVID, there was lockdown and everything, but I joined a lot of online classes or online sessions. I joined book clubs. I joined hikes once the MCO was lifted, like the CMCO started when they opened the hike trails. And this was the thing that I actually ensured that I did. I
Yeah,
think I hear my alarm and I have to apologize for like a few seconds.
but thank you very much, Munira. Okay, Munira, sorry, I just saw a comment.
Awkward.
No, I just saw a comment from Karen Lau. It's like she said, but Munira looks like a rich person.
Oh
So,
no.
no,
I mean,
I can understand that from a comment from the audience. Looks can be deceiving, which I have to defend Munira on that. But at the same time, I can understand the audience. Maybe they will have a thought of, how would you know? You never experienced that type of hardship that what this person is just mentioned, Haris. But one thing I can say that to defend that is just because someone has not sat inside a person's position doesn't mean also that they cannot empathize on that position. Is that correct? I think I'm using the correct words.
well, empathize, that's true. We can empathize, but it is valid to say that maybe we won't ever know exactly what it is. But where I am now, I just have to give a little bit of a dimension to who I am.
Yes.
Growing up, I have lived in a home where we didn't have any furniture whatsoever and we were sleeping on the hard floor. I didn't even have a bed. And I can go from living a good life in an overseas country or having no money whatsoever to even buy food, and I'm still having this positivity and livelihood, you know? So, this is the thing that I want to always emphasize on. Yes, I understand. Maybe it seems like, okay, I look like a rich person. I always take that, as a prayer. I mean, I will be rich.
I mean,
But one thing that I want audiences to know at this point of time is that I had my fair share of hardship in my life. I haven't always been in this situation now. And I think it's fair, whatever looks that may be deceiving, but it's also fair for people to try to empathize or try to be more open to what other people are going through, which is something that I am quite good at, I may say, with my peers, that no matter what anyone else is going through, I can empathize with them.
yes, thank you very much, Munira. So before we go to the second email, I just want to, okay, Umi, nampak Haris tu dia situasi, Umi frozen ke atau dia memang
Focused.
fokus? Umi,
Yeah.
gini dulu. Okay, she's moving. Okay, Umi, sebab okay, macam Mr. Haris yang dalam email tu, I've actually been in a situation where I have been homeless before. But at that time, I was fortunate. I was still working. And I had to accept that I was homeless. I stayed in many different places, my friends' places, my work colleagues' places, just to get past that month for me to gather enough money to get into a new place. And what advice, what I can give to Haris and to the audience out there is always hope. if you become hopelessness, you will lose the motivation to work at something that you need and what you want. That's what I feel when it comes to that situation. And you, like Munira said, you need to accept the worst case scenario. And my personal experience, once you accept that you're going, the situation where you are now, where you are accepting reality, that means you're already accepting you are at the bottom. So when you're at the bottom, there's only one way, which is up. That's what I feel. So I know Ummi is quite young to because I hope she's young. She's quite young to give something like this. But I'm sure based on your observation, do you think the attitude towards this type of situation lagi penting ke daripada nak putus harapan saja?
Ummi
Hello.
frozen.
Where is your
Ni. I think Umi's frozen. I really thought I was talking to Umi, but she's frozen. Okay, tak apa. Sambil Umi frozen, Munira, shall we read the second email?
Yes.
Okay. The second email, I read this before. I think it's travel related. So let's see. Okay. Sorry, bunyi motor kat luar. Okay. Hi Munira. I saw your post on your first solo trip decision and you traveled to Prague. Oh, very specific. Well, someone is stalking you there. Okay. I have always been passionate in traveling, and all this time I went traveling with either my family or my close friend. However, I think my family and friends have different points of view or interest when it comes to traveling for them. For them, traveling is about shopping, trying new food, attending local festivals, and go to amusement parks, etc. For me, I am more into hiking, nature walks, visiting historical places, art galleries, and museums. I want to try travel. I want to try to travel alone next year, but my parents are against me traveling alone for safety reasons, especially during a global pandemic. And I am a female. Can you help me on how to convince them to let me travel on my own? Because I really do want to go to places that I want to visit, not just following other people to go shopping. Uh, Help me, pretty please, Diva. Diva. Okay.
Diva.
Munira, are you there?
I'm here. I'm waiting to come on.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So, hi Diva. Thank you for writing to me. My first solo trip, maybe some audiences are not aware, has started in 2018. And the reason why I started solo traveling is because of my, you know, it's the same kind of consideration where my issue was everyone else is so busy and I only have specific time of the year that I can travel, which was at that time my kids' school holidays when they were going back to our hometown, and I would go back to work here in Dubai, and those were the only times I was traveling. And the people around me, they can't travel with me during these times for one reason or another. So in 2018, I had to make a hard decision because, you know, I've already been staying in Dubai for 2016. If I don't start traveling, then I would miss out on my time. So I took that bold decision to go. And I, as a researcher that I am nowadays, not nowadays, I've always been a researcher. I did quite a bit of a research on solo traveling, especially solo female traveling. And you know what I discovered? Solo female traveling has a network globally all by itself. It's a unique network that people, females all over the world who solo travel, can actually tell each other. There is blogs, Facebook groups. It's a whole group by itself, and it helps me a lot. And when I decide on a destination, depending on what I like, what you mentioned, you like hiking and nature walk. For example, I went to Finland. Finland, Helsinki is a very safe solo female traveler destination. And I spent a whole week there. I went around the what do you call these national parks? Yeah, I went to the
Yes,
national
national park.
parks. And I know that some people like traveling to Italy. Italy is very safe. And one of my female colleagues who went solo traveling to Cinque Terre, and she went hiking all by herself
Ooh, I love Cinque Terre.
in Cinque Terre. So all of these destinations are destinations that can be chosen as a solo female traveler destination. And I actually try to share some of my solo travel in my social media accounts. And of course, being connected to all these females give me a little bit more of a
Encouragement.
encouragement and confidence that I can actually travel to these locations. And the other part is some of the issues that some females are facing, some of the females, they are comfortable with it, but I don't necessarily feel comfortable with these issues that some of the females are facing. So when you read these blogs, they really help you make that decision. And as far as trying to convince other people, like your family, that it is safe, it's never going to be easy, especially us coming from an Asian background. What I usually do is I would just assure people that I don't, I am safe because I share all of my travel details to my close family members, my flight details, my everything, my hotel bookings, and my location even. And this is how I ensure that I'm safe. So
Sorry, I'm just laughing, Munira, because as you were saying that, one of our commenters, our audience, had a different advice to you. You mentioned that you're telling your close family your detailed itinerary and everything, and yet we have one commenter said the total opposite, which is just don't tell your family. Don't travel alone. Well, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, Munira. That it's not easy, especially on the Asian background. But I don't fully agree with Leila Manja just now. Don't tell your family when you want to travel alone. It's because it's not only for your family's assurance, but it's for your safety, especially when you travel alone. And this is me as an ex-travel agent. It's not just female travelers. When you are traveling alone in general, it's always good to let people know where you are going. At least a couple of people so they can detect
at
you.
least, yeah, at least one
Yes.
person. Oh yeah, a couple of people who are close to you.
Yes, and with the technology nowadays, maybe I can add on. Sorry, I'm just jumping into your advice, Munira.
No, it's
What you-
fine.
what you can add on, because suddenly my travel agent side is coming out. Okay, even back in the days, before this digital tracking, where you can share your location. Did you know, like WhatsApp, Telegram, WeChat, you can share your real life location everywhere you go, and you can share up to 8 hours. And the tours are normally 8 hours long when you go outside to these countries. It's just make sure that you have enough power bank to charge your phone when you do a real live location. But how we did it last time for solo travelers back in the day, Umi, saya tua, Umi. Back in the day, we had checkpoints. Uh, we had checkpoints where you can report where you have arrived, and the hotels last time were very nice that they allow you. They will send to your friends and family contact to the checkpoints where you have arrived. That you have arrived safely, you have checked in safely. So even back then, before the digital age, there was always a secure measure and to allow people to travel alone. And I think traveling alone is important for independence. I don't know about Ummi and Wong Ailing. Ummi, kalau memang ada rasa macam nak sendirian kan, you nak buat you punya benda, tak nak ikut orang, mesti ada perasaan tu kan? Is she frozen?
Let it go. Let it go.
I tanya Ummi, dia frozen. Okay, Wong Ailing. Okay, go to you. Kalau you must feel ada yang perasaan you want to be alone kan?
Always, because I'm an introvert.
So, okay, I thought Munira was also frozen just now, but she's just very good at smiling, and I think Munira this past week has figured out, just in case frozen, just look pretty. And I think it's valid reasons to share these things to people, but I still don't tell your family. If you really are afraid that family cannot approve, then it's something that you need to work out for yourself. Are you doing this for yourself, or are you doing this for your family? Sometimes you need to do things for yourself. This is what I can advise Jiva.
Yes. Sometimes you have to decide, especially if when you're an adult who's responsible for your own financials, responsible for your own life, it is important to make a decision for yourself in this day and age. As long as you are not reckless and ensuring that you are making decisions that are weighed, you have had a lot of thought about it. Some people are not confident to travel by themselves, but from my experience, I have chosen places that are very safe, like Central and Eastern Europe are very safe countries to travel to. And other places that may seem like it's not safe, but with a good agent or good tour advisor, you are in safe hands. And better still, if you know people from certain areas, or if you are in a group of women who support each other, it's the best.
And here's a topic that I just want to touch, because as Munira as a travel counselor and me as an travel agent, sorry, I changed my accent just now. Okay, this is how you can really feel secure when you want to travel. People nowadays, I nak travel sendiri, I dah cuba sebab mahal lah travel agent. It's very expensive to go on a travel agent. But this is what they forget. Travel agent gives you security. Official travel agents give you security, and you've got something to complain, someone to complain to, someone to go back to when you have a problem. When you try to book everything yourself, yes, maybe it is slightly cheaper, but you have to bear in mind you are paying this travel consultant and travel agents their work to do the research for you to make sure that you are safe with your family, that you are safe when you are traveling alone. So please do not look down upon these travel consultants and travel agents, and try to support them. And you can do your own research and do a comparativeness. And you must understand they are there. That is their living. They are making money. They are not cheating you. Don't feel that these travel agents, travel counselors, travel consultants are cheating you. They are there to earn money for their living. And by you buying their, supporting them, you are making their life better at the same time, and you can have your own enjoyment. And these people who give, say no, buat online sendiri apa semua, just don't complain back when you have a bad experience. What do you think, Munira?
Yes, I can say that. I can vouch. I mean, yes, I can talk about myself. The reason why I moved to this travel counselor business is because of my experience in travel. I have a lot of experience, and I have compassion for travelers like myself. So the thing is, I would like to share one good experience that I had with a local tour agency. It's not even an agency, it's just a family business in Georgia, the country, not the state in the US. Georgia, Tbilisi, where the capital is. It was a solo mom travel, me and my 3 kids. I went there and I had peace of mind because we had personal drivers, and these drivers, they looked after my children. And I was in a foreign country, but I had 2 personal drivers who are compassionate, who are helping me every step of the way, and they made me feel very safe. It was very convenient, and I loved it so much. And that's when I never looked back. I didn't have any doubt. Yes, there are tour agents that are too, there are too I don't want to use the word cheating, but they're too much focused on the commercial side of it, and they forget. And that's why it's probably best to go for more personal or like a family business. But this is my opinion and this is my experience.
All right. Thank you very much. That was actually a very, very good thought on that. So, Ummi, are you there? Are you back? Every time I want to go to
Ada garu pipi. I feel like garu pipi.
Umi dengar tak?
Ummi.
Hello?
Yes, hello, welcome back.
Ummi Hidayah.
Sorry,
Umi ada.
Wi-Fi ada problem kot.
Oh.
So, okay. Wow, how the time flies just talking about travel juga. So, Umi, okay, sebelum terputus, apa kata-kata terakhir Umi untuk hari ini untuk audience Umi?
Thank you for siapa yang support I daripada bawah, my family daripada dulu, daripada awal masa kecil. Apa ni? Selalu support I minat art ni. So kawan-kawan I, classmate I, thank you. Tengok live ni. Komen semua. Thank you so much.
Umi, social media, bagi our audience social media, Umi. Tunjuk kat
Okay,
bawah.
follow my TikTok. Mi Hidayah, MIEYHDYH, and Instagram MIEYHDYH23. TikTok MIEYHDYH23. IG MIEYHDYH.
Tunjuk kat bawah, guna jari. Ada kat bawah tu. Bawah screen. Follow Umi Nur Hidayah punya IG. MIEYHDYH. Kalau TikTok, MIEYHDYH23. Alright. So, Munira, your final say for this evening.
My final say is, lately our shows have been surrounded by artists and specific talents. Sculptors. I love that we are embracing this part of us, because when I was growing up, finishing school, it's always the focus on being in science class and becoming an engineer, becoming a doctor. And guess what? I love art. I used to draw a lot, but I went to engineering school. And what I'm doing now, I'm turning. I left that world behind because I'm pursuing my passion now. And I love it. I love that the world has changed. And I would encourage all the youngsters right now, anything and everything you can make a living out of, because the world is open so much. Not the only professions in the world are not doctors, lawyers, engineer, and this is the only profession that you can do. We can be anything nowadays. We can be anything.
Let's be fair to them. If they want to be doctors, be doctors. But we also want to say,
we need doctors.
But
Yes.
we want to say it's not the only profession, and it's not the only profession to see as being deemed successful. Success is many different reasons. Look at Jack Ma. He is not a doctor. He's successful, and he did many things before finally become a tycoon.
Yes.
So yeah. So thank you very much, Munira, for the thought. And Munira, don't ask my audience, our audience.
What audience? Okay, follow me here. Visit my website for any travel inspirations or for any stories that I might share. Hopefully, eventually, I'll get to write my blogs. You know, when I get round to it. I've only started this job for 2 months, so I'm still getting there. I'm still trying to get there.
All right. Okay, thank you very much. So, Wong Ailing,
Yes.
it's been 11 episodes. That's the
Yes.
last episode. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that we had, before we're going to have a break, and I'm glad Ummi is giving the positivity. Kita cuti berapa minggu?
2 minggu, yay! Cuti!
Holiday!
Yay!
So I already have work planned in mind.
Visit
So,
my website for travel inspirations.
yeah. So we had guests booked, but we will postpone some of the guests. But what we have in store, so don't worry, the audiences out there. We have amazing things in store, which has very Christmassy theme, very December theme, and we want to launch into the year 2021. So I can't wait until that. So for this evening, I want to say thank you to Ummi Hidayah for showing us your beautiful work. Thank you. And thank you, Munira, for all your advices for the past few weeks in EMP Variety Show. Yay! And Wong Ailing for being a very strong crew for EMP Shopping Network. EMP
backbone.
Shopping Network pula. EMP Variety Show.
Banyak sangat show dah.
Salah rancangan.
Sorry, we are launching another thing. That's why we're having 2 weeks break. We're not launching something new. So, but you'll see on our we will see on our social media very soon what are the new launches that we have for December. Yeah. So I want to thank you, LKS Entertainment, our CEO Selvan, Mr. Selvan, our advisor, Ms. Lalita, our our technical crew. I don't have coronavirus, and our crew, Teo Genjia. Now he was originally in China. Now he's placed in Cambodia, and he's still supporting us from overseas. So thank you very much to all the team, and I hope everyone had a good time this evening. And thank you to our audience. More importantly, to our audience.
Yes,
Don't forget to rewatch.
the most important.
Yes. Do not forget to rewatch all our 11 episodes. It's available in our YouTube, EMP Talents Guild, available in our Facebook at EMP Talents Guild, and some of the clips in our IGTV, EMP Talents Guild. So don't forget to share what you like, still comment and suggest, and send in all your problems and send in your suggestions, what we could change, what we can do at emptalentsguild@gmail.com, and ask Munira for advice, or ask me what is the next color change that I'm gonna have on my hair. Oh, or what we can do. Maybe we want to see Ummi's new work, and she did dedication work to EMP Variety Show. So that's tonight. Everyone, thank you very much, and thank you very much to the audience. Everyone, take care. So let's say goodbye for this evening. Yay! Lambai, Ummi. Lambai. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Where is it? Okay. Bye.
Bye. Berapa kali bye?